If this is comfortable for you, we're going to start in Virasana or hero's pose. So this is where you sit on your knees and you can place a block between your heels and have your knees together, and then drag your calves, so kind of grab behind your knees and drag your calves back and laterally or away, and then sit down on your height. So if this is not comfortable for your knees, then you can just sit cross-legged or in a chair. Sometimes people have ankle stiffness here too, so you can place a blanket underneath your ankle, like a blanket roll. So let's come to our center. Take a deep breath. And let's start with 3 double breath with tensions. So we'll inhale twice through the nose, tense everything up. Squeeze to the center line. And then exhale twice through the mouth, let everything go. Okay, 2 more times. In. Gaze to the 3rd eye. And out. Once more. And take a normal breath. Good. Now I'd like to do a little meditation to feel where balance, which is our theme today, comes from within your body. So you can go ahead and close your eyes. So balance is the ability to maintain your center of mass over your base of support. And there's a complex set of systems in your body that deals with this. So first, just bring your awareness to your eyes. Notice what you feel left to right. Notice if you feel any tension in your eyes. Bring your breath to your eyes and let them relax. And next, we'll become aware of what's called proprioception. So bring your awareness to the palms of your hands and the base of your feet. So see if you can sense all those little nerve endings in the palms of your hands and the base of your feet. So these sensory nerves from your body, from your feet, they tell your brain about what type of terrain you're on or what you're balancing on. Okay, and then next we will become aware of our vestibular organs or our inner ear. So bring your awareness to the insides of your ear. So here there is a little organ that has fluid within it, like a level, and it tells where our bodies are in relation to gravity. And they're right on the inside of your ears. And then we're going to bring awareness to our center of gravity. So feel the area 2 inches below your belly button and 3 inches into your body. And here is your center of gravity. And this area is also our second, or our sacral chakra, which is our area of creativity and sexuality. So let's start to bring some breath there. So as you inhale, imagine a tube running through your nose to a balloon down to the sacral chakra area, filling the balloon on the inhale. And then as you exhale, let that balloon get smaller as the air comes up through the tube, back out through your nose. We'll do that a few times, filling the area of center of gravity and letting it go. And then we'll chant the sound VAM. V as in very. It's the seed sound of the sacral chakra. So we'll just do one time to center ourselves in our sacral chakra. Take an inhale and together. VAM. Take a breath, notice. Okay, now start to rub your hands together. So we're gonna start to create some heat and energy. Rub, rub, rub. They're firing up all those little nerve endings in our hands. Okay, and then just let your backs of your hands fall to your thighs and feel the tingling, feel the heat, feel the energy in your hands. We've woken up those little nerves. Good. Okay, let's start to move. So we're gonna lift the arms up. Just stay in your, wherever you're seated, lift your arms up. Get a nice stretch all the way up. And calm down. And then clasp your hands together and reach the palms of your hands out and then come up. Inhale, breathe. Lengthen through your spine, lengthen through your neck. Reach through your palms. You know, if you have any shoulder issues, you can always bend your elbows or just don't come up as far. And release, and then switch the interlace of your fingers. So you have the other thumb on top and reach out and up. Good. Maybe you feel your belly button draw in towards your spine to create that core engagement. Good, and release. Okay, let's shake those arms, those hands shake, fingers shake. And maybe let's stretch the wrists. I like to kind of stretch the wrists back. We're preparing to come into quadruped. Maybe stretch them the other way. Do some wrist circles. Okay, so let's come to all fours. And I'm going to start with pelvic tilts in all fours. So have your knees about hip width apart. And just want you to just do pelvic tilts at the pelvis. So keep your upper body relatively still as you arch your low back, lift your tailbone, and then tuck your tailbone, draw your belly button towards your spine. So we're really just getting a feel for the mobility of your pelvis and your low back. It's a small movement. You can see how we're really starting to mobilize the root, first and second chakra, the root and sacral area of our center of gravity. Okay, now we're gonna do hip circles. So this one's a little tricky, but see if you can move your pelvis in a circle, and not just forward and back, but you're actually tucking and arching your back. So, just go one direction first, feel it out, and then let's go the other direction, tuck and arch. Kind of like you're drawing a circle with your tailbone. Good, come to center, and then we'll move into our cat-cow. So we'll arch the back as you inhale, and then exhale round. And just move with your own breath and your own pace. So warming up our spines. Good, and then we'll move into a moving cat-cow. So as you round your back, bring your hips back towards your heels, and then arch as you pull forward. So now we're undulating the spine. And a little bit more movement. Good, and let's come into our child's pose. Let's bring knees wide, big toes together. Reach those hips back, reach your arms forward. Let me stay a little active here, where you're really tucking your tail towards your heels and reaching your arms out, and bring your chest down towards the floor. Let's just take 3 breaths here. And we'll come back up, and we'll move into our downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So take your time here, maybe pedal your legs out, bend into your knees, wake up your hamstrings. And then go ahead and bend both your knees, reach your hips up high, and come into your full Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good, and we'll come back down. Let's take a breath. Excellent. All right, now we're going to start warming up our core a little bit more. So, which we really need the strength of our ankles, our hips, and our core in order to have good balance. And if you're balancing on your hands and your arms, then you need good strength in your wrists and your shoulders. So we'll be exploring all that today too. But let's get the core involved. And so we're going to move into some side planks. Now, so first, just go ahead and sit on your side hip, and we'll get the arm set here. So spread your fingers, really place every finger down. Really think about that index finger, the mound of your index finger. Press that into the floor. And then roll the upper arm out and the lower arm in, okay? So I've got the inside of my elbow facing you. And then when you're ready, we're gonna reach the bottom leg out, top leg can come over, and we'll push into our side plank. Again, take any modification you need. We'll start to feel the strength in your core and your shoulder. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Let's switch sides. Again, place your hand down, spread your fingers wide, roll the shoulder back. But, slight bend in the elbow. I tend to hyperextend my elbow. So if that's you, just slight bend in the elbow. Okay, reach your bottom leg out and then top leg over, lift up. Breathe. Maybe you can reach your top arm up to the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, come down. Now we'll go into our center plank. So again, hands wide, reach your feet back, and we're in our full plank. Again, you can do knees if you'd like to, but zip up through the arms, zip up through the legs, and feel that area below your belly button moving back towards your spine for your deep core. Good. Okay, and come down. Let's do a thread the needle. So bring your right arm up and then exhale through. So let's rest in a nice twist here. Nice shoulder opening. And switch. Inhale your left arm up and exhale all the way through. Deep breaths. Each exhale, twist a little bit more. Back to center. And let's move through our downward facing dog. Reach the heels back. Really feel the hands planted strongly into the ground. Slight bend in the elbows if you tend to hyperextend. Good, and now let's walk your feet forward into our Uttanasana, or standing forward fold. You can have a slight bend in your knees to start. Just feel a nice forward fold. And let's do an Ardha Uttanasana. Lift your chest, look forward, hands to shins. Exhale, round. Let's do that 3 times. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Hold for a breath. And then roll all the way up. Breath here. Good. Okay, so now we're in our Tadasana, our mountain pose. And we'll just feel, what I want you to do is, if you can, bring your feet together and close your eyes. And without doing anything, just feel how your body just subtly, very subtly shifts. There's always these subtle weight shifts going on to help correct your balance. So I just want you to be aware of that. You might notice that having your feet together is more challenging than apart. Okay, now we're going to exaggerate the weight shift. So start to bring your weight forward into your toes and then back into your heels. Nice and slow and gentle. Your weight, just feel your feet. And you might feel that your kind of lower core engages as well to keep you nice and straight. That's forward and back. And then come back to center. And then we're going to go side to side. And feeling your ankles. We're going to waking up the muscles in your feet and your ankles. And you'll feel kind of all the way up to your core, all working together in harmony. All right. So now is where you're going to grab a massage ball if you've got one. Maybe grab one from over here. If you don't have a massage ball, you can always just maybe sit down and use your hand, but we're just gonna roll, we're gonna massage out the bottoms of our feet. So I'm gonna place the ball on the ground and just roll out the bottom of your feet. Or you can sit in a chair and use your fist and just roll out the arch of your foot. So we're just waking up our feet and waking up all those little nerve endings. Our feet are really important. I think over time, our feet tend to get stiff if we're in shoes most of the time. And that can really affect your balance. So you want to keep your feet open and alive. Good. All right, let's switch sides. Good. All right. And then come back to your Tadasana and notice, how do your feet feel? Is there any change? I definitely feel more tingling, more energy. They feel a little wider, subtly. Okay. So now I'd like you to open your eyes and just lift one leg off the floor. Just feel your balance. Good, back down, and then the other leg. And this is where you can always use a wall for these next few exercises. It's because what we're gonna do, bring your foot down, we're gonna challenge your vision, your proprioception, and your vestibular system to challenge your balance. So first, let's challenge your vision and see how that feels. So first of all, close your eyes and have a wall nearby or a chair. And then go ahead and lift your right foot and see, how does that feel? Definitely more challenging because we're shutting off your vision. You can really see how your vision plays a role in balance. Good. Okay, let's switch sides. Lift your left leg and close your eyes. Breathe. Connect to the area below your belly button. Maybe you've got just 2 fingers on the wall or 1 finger. Good. And bring it back down. Open your eyes. Okay, so now we're going to challenge our proprioception, which are all little nerve endings in your feet, and we're going to create an uneven surface to stand on. So the easiest way I'm going to do this is roll up a blanket, but you can also maybe stand on a pillow. Now, the tighter the blanket roll, the more challenging. So if you want a little less challenge, then just make the roll a little looser. And I'll place it on the floor, and then you're just going to go ahead and stand on it, like right in the center of it. And you could feel like if you bring your feet closer together, that's a little more challenging. Feet wider apart is easier. Okay, so stand on the middle of the roll. And now we're going to lift your right leg. And just feel the challenge of changing our terrain that we're standing on. We think about all those uneven surfaces that we walk on and why it's more challenging. Okay, then switch sides. Good, and come back down. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little extra challenge here. Stay on the roll and close your eyes and then lift your foot. So now we're challenging your vision and your proprioception. So you're really having to rely on your vestibular system a lot and your strength. Okay, and then come down and then lift your other leg. Close your eyes. Oh, that's really hard. Good. Okay, so we're just kind of playing around here. I'm testing out kind of, what if we close off certain ways that we balance and challenge it. So the next one is challenging your vestibular system or your inner ear. So if anyone's had inner ear problems, they know like how when you have inner ear problems, your balance gets off, you get vertigo. So if anyone has those issues, then or you start to feel dizzy or sick, then just stop. But if not, then what we're going to do is roll. We're still standing on the blanket roll, and just start to roll your head around and see how that creates an additional challenge to your balance. And then go the other way. Good, and back to center. All right, so for anyone who wants the most ultimate balance challenge, you're gonna stay standing on the surface, close your eyes, and then roll your head. Good. It's a really good challenge. Normally when I teach this class, everyone's laughing at this point. All right, that's good. Let's see, we can remove our props and let's do a column pose. So again, we're standing in Tadasana and just hug your right knee into your chest. Okay, and then we're going to start to bend and straighten into your left leg. Again, you can always be holding on to a wall or a chair. With each exhale, push the floor away. Finding that strength in our legs. Good. And then switch. Hug your left knee into your chest. And then exhale, push the floor away. And release. Now let's bring your right knee up and hold your right knee with your right hand and bring your left arm out to the side. Flex your toes up, and we're going to slowly bring your knee out to the side. Open through your hip. And then come back to center, switch hands, and bring your right hand alongside your body and twist. And maybe bring your gaze back to your backhand. And then we're going to bring the right hand back around, but follow your fingertips with your eyes as you come all the way back to center. And release. Okay, so we're going to bring the left knee up and then hold your left knee with your left hand. Bring your right arm out to the side and then bring your left knee out to the side. Feel your core engaging, spine nice and tall. Flex those toes back and then bring your knee back to the front. Switch hands, keep that knee to the front and just bring your left arm down alongside your body and back behind you and stand in your standing twist. If you bring your gaze back to your fingertips, it gives you an extra challenge. And then follow with your gaze, follow the fingertips all the way around to the front and release. Good job. All right. So let's do a little bit of chair pose. So we're gonna sit the hips down. So bring your hips down, really sit back into your chair, lift your arms up. Maybe they're in front of you, maybe they're alongside your ears. Sit those hips down. Good, and then come back up. Take a breath. Now we're gonna do balancing chair. So raise up, maybe feet hip width apart and raise up onto your toes. Just raise up on your toes as high as you can. Bring your arms forward and then sit your hips down. So really the pose is working on getting those heels really high. Doesn't matter how far you sit down. Keep sitting down, keep those heels high. Good. Inhale up, exhale down. And we'll do twisted chair. Bring your hands, or I'll do a few modifications for this. The first one is you sit down into your chair, bring your left hand across your thighs, right hand to your sacrum and twist. Or you can bring your hands to heart center and twist. Bring your upper arm to the outer thigh. Come back through center. Inhale, exhale, switch. So twist whatever modification you'd like. Good, back through center. Let's do an Uttanasana here. Hands on your hips, come all the way down. Lead with your chest into your standing Uttanasana, standing forward fold. You can maybe grab behind your thighs, give a little extra stretch. And we'll lead with the chest coming up. So lift your chest, hands to hips, all the way up. Take a breath. All right, so come to the front of your mat. Maybe I'll face the side so you can see me. Legs sit back. All right, so we're going to, let's see. All right, so we're gonna come into a lunge. So we're gonna lift your right leg up. We're gonna do it slow because we're challenging our balance. Bring your right leg back, step back slowly, carefully bend your front knee into your high lunge. Okay, so that back heel can be up and we're just sitting down into that lunge. Good. So really feel that nice hip flexor opening. Then we're going to bring the arms. Actually out in front of you. And then keep your right arm out in front. Gaze at your left fingertips. We're going to draw the left fingertips around, look back, come into a twist. And then come back around, looking at your fingertips all the way back to the center. Good. Place your hands down on the floor. We're going to come through Adho Mukha Svanasana or downward dog. Good. Then walk, step, or jump your feet back to your hands. Forward fold. And all the way up. Exhale down. We're starting to move into some flow here. So next we're going to do the other side. So slowly lift your left leg up. Bend into your right knee, reach your left leg back slowly, carefully, and let it come down. Heel is up, come into your lunge. Good. We'll bring the arms out in front. Look, gaze is at the right fingertips, and you're gonna look and twist. Watching those right fingertips, hold the twist for a breath. And then all the way, sweep all the way back around, looking at your fingertips. Good, bring your hands to the floor, come into your downward dog. Take a breath. Good, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Okay, and come all the way up to stand. Exhale down. Good. All right, so let's inhale the arms up. We're gonna come back into our forward fold and then step your right foot back. So now we're in a low lunge, okay? Maybe rock back and forth. We're still opening up those hip flexors. And then we're going to move into a little warrior 3 with your hands on the floor. So press your weight into your left foot and lift your right leg up off the floor. And you've got your hands still grounded either on the floor or on a couple blocks. Okay, so let's hold this pose. Good. And then if you want a little extra challenge, bring one hand to your ankle and maybe both hands to your ankle. Keep your hips square. All right, and then come back down to your low lunge and into Adho Mukha Svanasana, or downward facing dog. And then let's step your, right foot forward, left foot back. We're in low lunge here. Maybe move forward and back, opening up those hips. Good, and then bring your left foot in a little bit, bring your weight into your right foot, and we'll shift your weight forward onto your right foot. Bring your hands forward. Now we're in our little modified warrior 3 with our hands on the floor or on blocks. And then, then you can work on bringing your hands to your ankle. So this is the balance challenge. Can you hold your ankle in your warrior 3 position? Good, and then step back into downward facing dog. Let's take a rest here. Let's just come down into a nice child's pose to take a breath. These are some challenging poses, really challenging. All the little muscles, all those little balance muscles and big balance muscles in your hips and core. Good. And come back into your downward facing dog. Walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Let's do a Ardha Uttanasana. So inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good work. All right, so now we're going to do a little balancing with pyramid pose. So I'll show you a modification with the chair and also the full version. So I'm going to grab a chair for anyone who'd like this modification. Okay, so Parvottanasana is pyramid pose. So let's start with your right foot forward, left foot back. Okay, and really square those hips around to the front and ground the back heel down. So we're going to start with bring your hands out in front of you like in a triangle. Okay, so you're going to gaze your gaze, or in yoga, your gaze is called your drishti. So your gaze is going to be in the triangle. So we're going to start with your hands all the way up. Okay, and then we're going to bring the hands forward, and we're also going to start to bring your body forward. Gaze is in between the triangle, and maybe you stop with your hands on the chair. Okay, so that's the modified version, or on the back of the chair. All right, or you can come all the way down. So come all the way down until you're gazing at your big toe. And then you can let yourself round at the bottom. Let your head and neck relax. And then same thing as we come up, slowly look into the triangle. So you come all the way up. We're gonna do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Look through the triangle. Feel your feet grounded strongly through the ground. Come down to the chair or all the way down to the floor. And then come into your full Parsvottanasana. Round your spine. Good. And then look through that triangle again and come all the way up. And step forward. Rest in Tadasana. Okay. Now step your right foot back. Your back foot's out at a 45-degree angle. And then twist your hips so that they're square to the front. And your feet can be kind of on railroad tracks. So they're not crossed over each other, kind of apart, about hip width apart. All right, now bring your hands up, look through the triangle, inhale, exhale, reach forward. So you're really reaching through your spine and come down. Take a breath here. And then inhale up, looking through the triangle, feel your core engage. And then again, exhale down. Look through the triangle, reach through your spine, all the way down, round. Let's take a few breaths at the bottom. You can place your hands on either side of your foot. Square your hips, really draw that right hip around forward. Good. And then bring your hands up on the inhale. And exhale, Tadasana. Good. All right, now separate your feet wide, Prasarita Padottanasana, or wide-legged forward fold. So inhale and then exhale, come all the way forward. You can always have your hands on blocks or a chair out in front of you. And just enjoy this nice wide-legged forward fold. Good. Okay, before we come up, we're going to play a little bit with a little balance. So this is optional, but what I want you to play with here is place your hands right underneath your shoulders and start to bring weight into your hands. So lean forward and lift your heels up off the floor. Feel that core engage. So we're playing with balancing on your hands with your arms. Now you could stay here, just doing weight shifts into your hands, or you can start to do little hops. Start with little hops, maybe start into big hops. Again, this is all optional, but it could be a little fun here before we come down to the floor. Really, what I'm trying to work towards is his handstand, which could be another class, but eventually you could come up into your